All right, so the Boston Celtics, who I think are the most intriguing team in the Eastern Conference playoff race, given the variance that their team could have before the end of the season. They made a big move before the deadline. They go out and they swap Anthony Simons for Nikola Vučević. Now, Vucevic is 35 years old. He's not the all-star caliber player that he once was. But I'm looking at him, guys, and I'm seeing a three-point shooting big man going to a team that, A, shoots a lot of threes, and B, could use a damn big man in that front court. So, Grant, I thought this was a really good move by the Celtics. Like, Simons had a good season, but they weren't going to bring him back, and they don't really need a smallish guard as part of that rotation. I love the move for Boston.
I love it. You look at their season. They came into the year being like, oh, we're not going to really be competing that much. Let's save some money. Let's revisit this when Tatum comes back, et cetera. And then all of a sudden, the coaching staff and Jaylen Brown and everyone has put together such an incredible season for for a wide open East. And they're playing such good basketball. And so you make a move in which you get a guy that really helps your team. You save a lot of money, again, without giving up much. Anthony Simons, while he was, having a nice season, they've been using him. That was going to be the salary piece that's being moved. Sometimes you look at a move and just say, hey, that's a good move. It's a low risk, not much else to be said about it. I think it is a good move for a team that has surprised many people. And if Jason Tatum were to come back this year, and obviously I know there's some question marks about that, and I just hope they make the smart decision with that one. I don't do anything that could risk someone's career. The Boston Celtics they're just, you watch them play basketball and you're like, they play inspired basketball, and they have a guy in Vucevic who's been craving playing inspired basketball. I'm happy for them. I think it's a good move.
I thought they were going to stealth tank this year and the way you do it is you just don't have great big men. Kata's been great. Luka Garza has been better than I ever expected him to be as a pro. Like, they have played their way in because of those guys, but they needed frontline help. Like you said, they get shooting. This isn't going to be a great defensive pickup, but
hey, neither was Simons, though.
No, exactly. The defense isn't getting worse, and you pick up a really skilled offensive player. He can pass. He can shoot from all over the floor. He's a high IQ guy. This is a really great pickup for them. Whatever happens with Tatum, this is a great pickup because they look like a team that can make a little run in the East, as is.
It's also another expiring contract, so it's not like they're tacking on extra years. Even though I think, and I saw Vucevic do an interview recently where he talked about how the next phase of his career is going to be as a bench player. He understands the evolution that's coming. And you're also talking about a guy in Vucevic who, to my knowledge, has never played a meaningful postseason game ever. He's got a dozen or so playoff games on his resume, didn't get far in Orlando, was a play-in guy in Chicago. Hey, maybe Boston's got some juice. Maybe being with the Celtics this year is something that he wants. It's going to bring some more out of him. Maybe next year he wants to come back and be part of what they're doing in their kind of Al Horfordy role. Take a short-term contract, less money to be a guy, a rotation player with that team. I just think it makes a lot of sense for them to add a player who can do the things that he can do offensively. And all you're talking about is him maybe taking some of Luka Garza's minutes, maybe supplanting Neemias Queta in kind of as an offense-defense type of role. I love the deal for Boston. I think the Celtics, too, I don't think they're finished yet. They've made a bunch of deals to open up some roster spots. They trade away Chris Boucher. They trade away Josh Minot. Just before we started recording this, at the wire, they trade Xavier Tillman to Charlotte. They're now under the luxury tax, so they're kind of where they want to be there. But they're also in a position to go out there and get one of those buyout guys that could be on the market. We know Lonzo Ball, likely going to be available. Haywood Highsmith, maybe he's available. Gabe Vincent, maybe he's available. They need kind of a big defensive-minded guard. And, Grant, there are some guys out there that fit that bill.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, by the time we're done recording this, we don't know where it's going to be, but how about Mike Conley or there's
Mike Conley. Mike Conley's going back to Minnesota. This was and I texted you guys this. This was as soon as he was traded, I had people in the league telling me he's getting traded again because he can go back to Minnesota. Maybe it doesn't turn out that way, but the fact that people in the league knew this was going to happen.
Everyone was talking about it the minute it happened. It's is that cap circumvention if everyone knows it? I don't know. It's almost like it's not cap circumvention if everyone's oh, no, this is happening. It's it's actually hey, good job.
Yeah.
But to your point, they are set up to really test some people in the East. And I would love, if you play the Boston Celtics with Vucevic now, and if they're relatively healthy going in, you're going to get a dogfight the whole way. And so I don't care which team you're matched up against. The Boston Celtics are going to make it hard on you. And again, there are moves that you say, what if this? What if this? This to me is just the most low risk, save some money move. Good for the Boston Celtics. Vucevic, good job. Yeah.
Nobody in the East scares Boston. Nobody should. They are going to be able to, like you said, at least threaten and push anybody they play. This was smart. This was a really smart move, and Vucevic gets to play some meaningful minutes in a big playoff game. That'll be fun to see.
I wonder, and I don't think the Celtics do this deal with Tatum in mind, but does this increase the chances that he's going to come back? Look, Tatum's doing his own thing, and I've reported in the past, like at this point, it's a mental thing for Jason Tatum. Like I think physically, he's almost all the way there, maybe a couple more boxes to check, but mentally, are you ready to step back onto the court in the middle of a playoff race and potentially in the postseason 10 months after the most significant injury an NBA player can have? So I think that's still an open question. But now you've got another big man to fill a role that you need. Now, if you can come back and give this team 15 to 20 minutes per game coming off the bench in that same kind of role Anthony Simons had, but you're a better version of him, I think it's now interesting. I think it makes it even more interesting to see what happens with Jason Tatum.
I was talking to a former player, and he was saying the one thing he's worried about with Jason Tatum coming back is, confidence and everything like that. It plays a factor for these stars, right, as they get on the court. And you don't want to mess with somebody's confidence when they're on the court, and you don't know how it can affect a team when you have a guy who's working through things mentally while he's on the court and trying to figure out his own career at the same time. So if he does come back, you just gotta really, really, really check all the boxes that it makes sense for everyone involved. Because again, there's just too many risks. I hope he comes back and it's fun and it's great and he's the same guy, but it's hard to change the role that you're in for your whole career. You've been one guy, and then to come back into a team that's playing a certain way and be a different role than you're necessarily used to, or a lesser version of the role that you are expected to be. So I want to pause the push the brakes a little bit on the fact that just him coming back makes everything better. I think there are risks involved, but all I'll say is I've just been so impressed with the Boston Celtics, and I want to see them succeed this year.
I don't think he comes back. That's really the concern, right? Jaylen Brown has kind of stepped into the number one role. Even if Tatum says he's coming back as a number two, it just seems weird and awkward and a little uncomfortable when you don't necessarily need to do that. I mean, maybe they want to, maybe he feels right, maybe this all clicks, but like you said, I think it's more mental than physical, not just with him, but how you're going to mesh this whole thing back together.
He said that on a podcast. I don't think it's that. I don't think he's too worried about how he's going to fit in with this team. I think it's, can I be Jason Tatum when I get back out there? And look, I look at this as being like March 1st, kind of the drop dead date. There's got to be a ramp up. You can't just drop him in 2 weeks before the start of the postseason and say, here we go, first round series, we're going to play the Knicks or whoever. The Knicks, of course. Let's go back to Madison Square Garden where it all happened, and let's do this. I think there's got to be at least a month, maybe a month and a half to get him out there, get him comfortable, and then you can go to the postseason. But the Vucevic trade made the Celtics a lot more interesting. They are much more of a threat to win the East today than I thought they were earlier in the week.
Hit subscribe for more news, highlights, and analysis from the NBA on NBC.